everybody to the Williamson County Public Library. I'm Don Swartz, Southern Trade Songwriters, and what a great afternoon this is to be inside since it's pouring down rain out there. But anyway, Mr. Scott Southworth is a dear friend of mine and an acquaintance, and not to mention an outstanding writer, musician, and vocalist. And put your hands together and welcome Mr. Scott Southworth.
Thank you. Is that loud enough?
I think so.
Just kidding, I know I'm plenty loud enough. So before I just start singing, I'm just curious, how many of you, by a show of hands, are songwriters? And then some of you are just here to listen and have some fun. Okay, good. Good. Well, I won't make you raise your hand. Okay. So I'm going to just sing a couple of songs, and then I guess I'll just start answering questions or throwing questions at you guys, and anything I can help you guys navigate in this town. I've been here for 14 years. We moved here in 2004, and been a songwriter, independent songwriter the whole time. I have over 70 independent cuts, one major label cut, and then lately I found an audience in Europe that really enjoys honky-tonk, old traditional country music, which is what I love to write. And so I've just been doing that. So here's the title track off my latest CD, and it goes like this. Hey, hillbilly singer, sing me a song about a cold-hearted woman that did a man wrong. Here's a 20 in a bucket, keep the sags coming, fill it up all night long. I need a beer-drinking girl, cheap chair, we can roll, broken-hearted country song. Most Friday nights I'd be that guy two-stepping across the floor. Since she said goodbye, don't feel like dancing anymore. Didn't see her leaving coming, man, she took me by surprise. They say misery loves company, I need me some tonight. Hey, hillbilly singer, sing me a song about a cold-hearted woman done a good man wrong. Here's a 20 in the bucket, keep the sags coming, fill it up all night long. I need a beer-drinking girl, cheating chair, weeping broken-hearted country song. You think by now I'd drink my way out of this neon hell, but I'm stuck on that lost highway, and Williamson knew so well. And I understand the band must play a line dance now and then, but you said, Hanks, you're cheating hard, it felt like a long lost friend. Hey, hillbilly singer, sing me a song about a cold-hearted woman done a good man wrong. Here's a 20 in a bucket, keep the sags coming, fill it up all night long. I need a beer-drinking girl, cheating tear, weeping broken-hearted country song. I need a beer-drinking girl, cheating tear, weeping broken-hearted country song. Wow, wow, wow. Da-da-da-da. Yeah. Thank you so much. That one was a song I wrote with my friend Mark Allen Barnett, and I know that we have some friends of Mark Allen Barnett here in the room. Here's another song off the new CD, and then I'll talk a little bit. This song, I guess I was just driving around, and you know, maybe some people say you bring out the romantic in me, or you bring out the, I don't know, what else do people bring out in you? Right? Okay, well, so this is one, I just thought of that little phrase and turned it around for this song. There's been women attempts to settle me down. Good girls had prayed I'd see the sin in my ways. Finally stopped my rowdy nights of hitting the town. But you came along, we're like peas in a pod, fitting together naturally. Oh darling, you bring out the honky tonk, the honky tonk in me. Ice cold pitchers of brew, few games of pool, before that country band hits the stage. Then two-stepping all night may be a parking lot fight. To you and me it sounds just like a hell of a date. You're a roadhouse dream, you're the finest I've seen, in your Stetson hat and wearing them jeans. Oh darling, you bring out the honky tonk, the honky tonk in me. Your smile while I twirl you all around the hardwood floor, and the way your white shining neon lights, when it only makes me love you more. Ba da 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 da, they say opposites attract. Hey honey, I don't buy that. We're simpatico, it's easy to see that you bring out the honky tonk, the honky tonk in me. Darling, you bring out the honky tonk, the honky tonk in me. Ra-ba-ba-ba, so I do an awful lot of writing on my own, and this is really a co-writing town. It's very important in this town. But I am one of those folks that has a day job, so I travel around 11 states working a job 9 to 5 on Monday through Friday. So all that driving means I'm seeing a lot of open road, and you know, I don't care about all those commercials that say, "Can you hear me now?" No, they can't. So I have a lot of open time on the road without a phone that's working. And so I tend to do all my writing by myself. And I have called people with ideas, and then 100 miles later finish the song. So it's best to just do it by myself until I get stuck on something. And then I bring in, after 14 years, I've made some great friends and great writers and people that I can reach out to and say, I'm stuck on this one. Help me out with it. But now, how long have you all been here writing?
I've been here since '68. I've been writing since I've been reading.
Oh my goodness. So what, you should be up here telling me how to write.
No. I'm the old country too.
Oh, good.
I'm Loretta Lynn style, which
Yeah.
changed her style, but.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's, you know, I love that stuff. So it was the CD, The Last Honky Tonk in Town, that came out in 2016. And basically every year as a songwriter, we're out there demoing our songs and trying to pitch songs that we think the radio wants to hear, right? To artists and A&R people and managers and producers. So you spend most of your time and your money demoing songs for that. But for me, once a year, I would use some of my demo budget and record one song that I knew I couldn't pitch that was just for me. And it was the real traditional country, because I love that stuff. I love Merle Haggard and Hank Williams and Johnny Cash, and that music is just always, you know, spoken to me. So once a year, I do one song like that. And after 10 years, I had a CD of all traditional material. So I said, well, I'll put it out. My last CD in the course of 5 years sold 7 copies. So I was thinking, well, maybe I'll, you know, sell 7 or 8 this time. And I put it out, and it went berserk in Europe. I had no idea, but in Europe, they love that old, authentic, traditional sound. And so because of that, since 2016, I've toured Europe 4 times. I'm heading back in 3 weeks, going to go do a tour in Norway. I've never imagined I'd get to go to Norway. So that's, there really is, I think in this day and age, as the music business has changed so seismically, and we can talk about that later, I've just kind of decided it's more important to just find a niche of people that want to hear you and just play for them. And that's worked really well for me anyway. So the new CD called Hey Hillbilly Singer, after the success of the last honky tonk in town, I said, well, I can spend another 10 years beating my head against the wall trying to pitch to radio, or here's all of these people in all over the world that want to hear me. And I got buckets of songs like this, so I'll just go spend all my budget on recording that. And so that's what I've done, and that's the result of Hey Hillbilly Singer. So that's the story of that. But I really like the idea of finding a niche, and I've had a lot of people take me out to coffee and want to know what I did and how I did it, and I'm happy to share any information. But the key is step 1 is figure out who wants to hear what you're doing, and step 2 is go to them. So take the, what is it? The mountain doesn't go to Muhammad, or the Muhammad to the mountain. I don't know. Go to the mountain, I think, is what I'm trying to say. But I do other types of songs. This one is on the CD, but it's actually more of a beachy song. I've written several songs that have that trop rock feel to it. We spent several years in the San Diego, Southern California area, so it's hard not to do that. I played a show in San Diego, and there was a gentleman that surprised us with drums. He had a drum set, and the guy I was playing with said, I asked him to go ahead and join us, and I said, okay. He said, you're going to love him. He only knows one rhythm, but he can play it fast or slow. And he wasn't lying. But his rhythm was that beachy rhythm. And he was great at that. Good old Buzz. I don't remember ever seeing the water this blue. Felt an island breeze so sweet and warm. Pink and white sand around the cabana. It's a picture-perfect tropical morn. My waitress in a bikini, I just caught her winking as she brought another bucket of beer. Weather's beautiful, I wish I was here. Wherever I go, no matter how far, the rest of me travels. My heart stops wherever you are. But your heart's gone cold. You made that so clear. Weather's beautiful, I wish I was here. Last night the rough drinks were fancy. The whole bar was dancing to the rhythm of a steel drumming band. No shortage of beauties, touristic cuties showing off their copper-toe and tans. The full moon was shining like a pearl on the ocean as it rose over Fisherman's Pier. Weather's beautiful, I wish I was here. Wherever I go, no matter how far, the rest of me tries. My heart stops wherever you are. But your heart's gone cold. You made that so clear. Weather's beautiful, I wish I was here. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. 'cause I hear up in Vale, it's the best powder they've seen in years. Weather's beautiful, I wish I was here. Weather's beautiful, I wish I was here. Thank you very much. I wrote that a couple of years ago. I think it was right after we took the kids. One of our kids was about to leave the state, and the other kid was about to graduate high school, so we figured, I don't know how many full family vacations we have, so we went to the Bahamas and sat and drank things out of coconuts, and that song just kind of came out. So it's nice when you can have those kind of inspirations, right? But you have to use your imagination a lot of times too. So this is one that I wrote this. I was actually driving. I remember I was driving between here and Memphis. It was summer a couple of years back, and it was hot. And we had just had storms a couple nights earlier, and so it was really, really muggy. And where we live out in Lewisburg, you go outside at night and sit on the front porch, and there's just bugs all over it, right? Just great big, the June bugs flying around, hitting you in the face, and all of that. So I don't know, just the word critters kept banging around in my head. What am I going to do with the word critters? So I wrote a love song. About all the creepy crawly things we have here in the South. A critter gonna crawl where it's dark and dank. The shrimp gonna boil, the skunk gonna stank. She's wondering, where is she going with this? Did he say a love song? Old hound dog gonna howl like the moon, firefly gonna light up every night in June. Critter gonna crawl, I'm gonna fall for you. Cricket gonna fiddle, froggy gonna croak. A monkey in the middle, a porcupine gonna poke. Well, you never seen a horse like a Tennessee stud. Catfish gonna swim Mississippi mud. Critter gonna crawl, I'm gonna fall for you. Well, when it comes to what happened between me and you, nature gonna do what nature gonna do. Moon gonna shine, planet gonna spin, fox gonna sneak in the chicken pen. Fox gonna sneak in the chicken pen. No, no, no. This song was pitched to Steven Tyler back when he was here trying to do a country album. He didn't take it, but I thought he would have been great with it. Doing this scatting right here. Well, when it comes to what happened between me and you, nature gonna do what nature gonna do. Moon gonna shine, planet gonna spin, fox gonna sneak in the chicken pen. Fox gonna sneak in the chicken pen. 1, 2, 3, snake gonna hiss. Bumblebee gonna buzz. Skeeter gonna stick. When you're looking for the blood. Every mouth gonna flood to an open flame of love, but about your baby never be the same. Now that line was the guy that was my song plugger at the time. That was the line that he came up with because he didn't like my original line. So originally he called me and he said, come up with some other lines. That one I don't like. And then he ended up coming up with that one. So I think he just wanted to co-write it, but that's okay. I don't mind. I like that line. Love bug bite you, it'll never be the same. But I'll play you some of the ones that weren't picked. Every mouth gonna flood to an open flame. Just cause you pet a wildcat don't make her tame. He said, no, that might be a little risque. I don't know. I can't tell if that is or not. But we don't want to put something out there that might be. I said, okay. Well, how about one for hunters? You know, Tennessee has a lot of hunters, right? Every mouth gonna flood to an open flame. Young buck gonna rut for a little white tail. He said, absolutely not. That is absolutely not that. No. So here's the one that I actually came up with originally that he didn't like. It's still my favorite. Every mouth gonna flood to an open flame. Don't hate the player, baby, hate the game. Credit gonna crawl, I'm gonna fall for you. Credit gonna crawl, I'm gonna fall for you. Credit gonna crawl and I'm gonna fall for you. Credit gonna crawl. Thank you very much. Well, let's see here. So you like writing that old country stuff, huh? Me too. What do you like about it?
Well, I think anybody that has gone through a divorce can appreciate country music.
Right.
It comes from the heart. A lot of things can trigger an idea. Sometimes, your emotions, my emotions get really caught up in it. I mean, happy or sad. Seems like when I'm on a high or a low is when I write the best.
Right.
So it's just kind of a way to ventilate, get it out of you. And sometimes make others laugh.
Right. Well, I think I agree with everything you said. I think that there's comfort in hearing a shared emotion. So it's nice when you hear a song that is mirroring something that you are feeling at the time, and just to know that you're not the only one that's ever felt that way, right? And then everybody loves to smile and laugh when that comes up too. But I believe, and that's the same with blues and with country music. I love that, in the past there was a willingness to sing about anything, any real life situation. I think right now radio's not as interested in that, and maybe more interested in partying and a certain, and that's fine. But I think in the past, I guess as a songwriter, when I came to town, I had songs that were pretty bleak, and maybe I had a song that was a man talking to his daughter about the fact that him and mommy weren't living together anymore, and ultimately it was because he had messed around, so he had messed up. And when I took it to publishers, they're going, no, nobody's going to sing that, because it's more branding now, and there's, an artist isn't going to want to put himself out there as, in that character as someone that would do something like that. And that makes sense. But I still love those songs. I love those, the real sad and the hurting songs. So I'll do one of those right now. This is also on the CD, Hey Hillbilly Singer. There's no winning when the hurt words are counted. And it's a fine line separating love and war. The conclusion's not what either of us wanted. Well, there's nothing left to fight for anymore. Well, we soldiered on for years while the fire was dying. We both knew I'm not who you were looking for. And there's a sad truth in your eyes, no need for lying. When there's nothing left to fight for anymore. Nobody to blame. No one's done someone wrong. Through laughter and pain, we had a hell of a run. Now there's nothing left to fight for anymore. Nobody to blame. No one's done someone wrong. Our family was raised. We had a hell of a run. And I'm surely gonna miss you as you're walking out my door. But there's nothing left to fight for anymore. There's nothing left to fight for anymore. Yeah. Well, that was depressing. When I went in the studio to record that, my producer came up to me and said, "Is everything okay?" And it's funny because when we lived in Southern California, I'd write these songs and I'd put them out there, and my mother-in-law would call Jen and say, "What's going on? What's going on? You can talk to me. I've never liked him." No, she didn't say that. She didn't say that. But, and I guess that's, as a writer, a lot of times I'll look around me and see a situation and just insert myself into it and just imagine how would I handle something like that, or how would I deal with something like that. Hello there.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Nice to see you.
Oh, thank you.
So that's how a lot of these songs come out. You know, it's just you see something around you, or you get an idea watching a sad movie. Or I watch a lot of independent films. You know, that's one of the cool things about Netflix and Hulu. There's a lot of indie films out there that you can watch, and the only bad thing is I have to finish something I start watching, and a lot of these indie films are horrible, and I'll have to watch it. I'll make myself sit and watch the whole thing even though I'm not enjoying it. But you never know when a little line's going to come up that brings something, an idea, or sparks an idea. So that was such a sad song about a relationship that just fell apart. I'm going to do the exact opposite now. This is a song, my wife and I have been married for 26 and a half years. And when we hit 25, I really wanted to write her a song. But I'm not great at sweet love songs at all. At all. So I tried, and I just couldn't really come up with anything. And then about right around the end of our 25th year and the beginning of number 26, some friends of mine from high school also had their 25th anniversary. And he wrote what a crazy ride it had been, and he wants to put another quarter in it. Quarter 25. And I said, "Oh, that's it. That's it." And plus, he was a friend of mine from school, so I don't have to give him co-write. So in your head, if you join me here, this has some twin fiddle in the beginning. It sounds like this. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. This song is 100% true, most of it. Our friends were taking bets how long this thing would last as they stood beside us on our wedding day. Honey, we sure proved them wrong. 25 years holding on. Two young foolish lovers blew their odds away. Living on white bread and rice, pitching pennies, stretching dimes. We was good back then and barely getting by. Just look how far we've come, still together, still in love. Let's put another quarter in a ride. We've won and lost, laughed and cried throughout our story. coaster up and down. You say it's all been fun, well that would be a lie. But we made it through it all, standing like that shining wall. Honey, let's put another quarter in the ride. We've won and lost, laughed and cried throughout our story. Had for better and for worse. We can't say we've had boring. Well, the hard work's all been done. The kids are grown and gone. What's next is up to us to redefine. There's a big world left to see. Why not find it, you and me? Let's put another quarter in the ride. Let's put another quarter in the ride. So I think about that chord progression. I was thinking about it today. I mean, it's a pretty classic chord progression, right? Hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me? Hey, 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 baby, don't you think maybe we could come up with a brand new recipe? I got a hot rod Ford and a $2 bill, and I know a spot right over the hill. We got soda pop and dancing's free. If you wanna have fun, come along with me. Hey, hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me? We've had all our ups and downs, it ain't no story. Well, the hard work's all been done. The kids are grown and gone. What's next is up to us to redefine. There's a big world left to see. Why not find it, you and me? Let's put another quarter in the ride. Bom, 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 bom. Let's put another quarter in the ride. Twin fiddles again. La ba ba da 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 da. Thank you so much. Thank you. Are you a writer in the back?
No.
Nope. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. My kids have both shown tendencies towards art, which is a beautiful thing, but you realize that you kind of wish they'd be mechanical engineers or something, you know. But I say that, but what, you know, the life, the things we've been able to go experience and see and do, and every now and then when you write a song that touches someone and is important to them, that's a great feeling. So I think you live a life full of experiences, maybe instead of comfort or stability, but that's okay. That's all right. So let's see here. How about another beachy song? Did you guys like the beachy stuff? This is one I had watched a documentary on parrot heads, again on Netflix. This should be a commercial for Netflix. Probably shouldn't be on public television, but anyways, I watched a thing about parrot heads in the community, and it's quite the organized setup all over the world. And after I watched that, I had to go get my oil change, so I went to Walmart, because in Lewisburg, that's where we go to get our oil change. And I think Price is Right was on the TV in the waiting room, and I didn't want to watch Price is Right. So I just wandered around Walmart, and I noticed that everybody working there that morning had tattoo sleeves in all the departments. Everybody was tattooed from stem to stern. And I have tattoos. I don't think anything badly of it, but I just said, man, oh man, I can't imagine, my tattoos have meaning, and I'm trying to think, I would have to really think hard to think of enough tattoo, what each tattoo would mean if I had them all over me. And so that got me kind of thinking of a little idea, and I was over in the pet section in Walmart, and they had a big pallet of 50-pound bags of Alpo, and this song just literally crashed into my head. And I know a lot of it was because I had just watched the documentary and then seen a bunch of tattooed people at Walmart. And this song just kind of came out. I leaned up against the 50-pound pallet of Alpo dog food and wrote this song on my phone. Hey bartender, she looked familiar. Have you seen her around this old bar? A beauty like her you'd be sure to recall. She's shining like a northern star. She made quite an impression right here on my chest. I wish I could remember, but now I'll never forget. And now I'm looking for the woman on my new tattoo. She really got under my skin. With her long raven hair and her eyes sky blue, I'll keep searching till I find her again. Searching till I find her again. She walked up to me after 13 tequilas and asked me if I wanted to dance. We got hot in a hurry, then things got blurry as we ran out for low-tide romance. I remember the beat of her heart in the surf, then the sting of the needle pledging my heart to her. And now I'm looking for the woman on my new tattoo. She really got under my skin. With her long raven hair and her eyes sky blue. With that dress up to there and the way she moved. I'll keep searching till I find her again. Searching till I find her again. This is a musical interlude to sing along. The woman on my new tattoo. 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 Now I know it's the middle of the day and we're not in a bar, so I don't expect you all to sing along right now. But at 2 in the morning, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be singing, the woman on my new tattoo. Well, I woke up this morning and she was nowhere in sight. Just this epidermal art to remember her by. And now I'm looking for the woman on my new tattoo. She really got under my skin. With her long raven hair and her eyes sky blue. With that dress up to there and the way she moved. I can still smell her kiss and taste her perfume. I'm gonna search until I find her again. Search until I find her again. I'm gonna keep searching till I find her again. The woman on my new tattoo. It's gonna get there, folks. Woman on my new tattoo. It's a little earworm. The woman on my new tattoo. The woman on my new tattoo. All right. Now I saw someone in the audience made a funny look when I said I can still smell her kiss and taste her perfume. There was a song several years ago written by Kix Brooks and Bob DePiro called Out of the Blue Clear Sky. Remember that song for George Strait? And they wrote it that way on purpose. It was after the Forrest Gump movie came out. And remember he would say, and out of the clear blue sky, there she was. So they wrote it, but out of the blue clear sky. And George Strait called them and said, we're going to cut this song, but didn't you mean clear blue sky? And they said, nope. We meant blue clear sky, not clear blue sky, blue clear sky. And he goes, okay, but why? And the reason is sometimes if you do something wrong on purpose, it makes you think about it. And I know it made you think about it because I got a couple of funny looks when I said smell her kiss and taste her perfume. but it also helps it be a little more memorable. So there's a little bit of method to the madness there when you do a little play on words like that. So there's a tidbit that I just made up. What did I read the other day? The only things that tell the truth are children, drunks, and yoga pants. That should be a song, right? Except for by the time I write it, yoga pants will be out of style, and I'll be the only one wearing them again. Sorry. Michael just threw open his mouth a little bit. So let's see here. This is kind of a fun song, for me anyway. I originally wrote it to be kind of a nonsensical song with a chorus that everybody could latch on to, but the verses weren't going to make much sense. But as I wrote the first verse, and this was all happening in 2016, I guess, and the verses kind of took another shape. You guys, it wasn't in the news a whole lot, but if you can remember back 2016, there was a little election. I don't know if you guys knew about there was that little election, and people were crazy on Facebook, weren't they? But the good news is after the election, everybody calmed down. Okay, maybe not. I do. No, maybe I don't. No, I don't. And I just, I just was going, it made me so sad to see people saying things like, unfriend me if you voted for him, or unfriend me if you voted for her. I don't want to be your friend anymore. And I was thinking, boy, oh boy, we've really, this social media has really changed how we interact with each other. And I proved that to myself, because some of these people that felt the exact opposite of me and were really rambunctious online and name calling and saying really hateful things to each other, I organized us all to go to lunch and talk about it face to face. And it was so much more civil, and everybody was nice to each other and said, okay, probably not everybody that voted that way feels this, or not everybody that voted that way feels that. And you really got to, not that we all agreed, we certainly didn't, but it was more civil. And, I'd much rather have a sandwich or a beer with somebody and talk about things than have that anonymity that allows us to be so mean to each other. So this song just took a whole left turn and went a whole different way. So that's kind of what this song's about, is just, what if we just don't worry about what we don't agree on and have some fun with each other again. So that's what it's about. I originally, as I was writing it, I was wishing it could be a duet for Willie and Merle. And then we lost Merle, but it was sent to him. It was actually sent to him. I have no idea if he heard it, but in my mind he did. But it goes a little something like this. Nobody leaves this world alive. Some bound to fall, some bound to fly. You got your number, I got mine. No point in worrying or crying till my running days are through. I'm gonna run around with you. Hey, I'm gonna live until I die. Nobody leaves this world alive. Well, I don't give two damn got your number, I got mine. No point in worrying or crying. Till my running days are through, hey, I'm gonna run around with you. I'm gonna live until I die. Nobody leaves this world alive. Well, I can't pinpoint exactly when this whole world went crazy and common sense flew out the door. We're all so ticked all the time, top 4 or 5. Ain't nobody listening anymore. But the truth is we're all stuck here on this ball, on the same spinning trip around the sun. How about we all just try to calm down and get a good buzz on? We'll find ourselves a little fun. Nobody leaves this world alive. Bound to fall, some bound to fly. Got your number, I got mine. Won't worry or cry. Till my running days are through, hey, I'm gonna run around with you. I'm gonna live until I die. Nobody leaves this world alive. Yeah, we're gonna live until we die. Nobody leaves this world alive. Thank you very much. There was my social commentary for the day. And it was agnostic, so there. Everybody can enjoy it. Let's see here. You guys in the mood for happy or sad? Happy? Happy? Okay. I got one more of those.
We need to end on happy.
What's that?
We need the last one to be happy.
Well, maybe I'll make up another one that's happy. Okay. That's a good idea, though. Always end on happy, right? Okay. Listen to her. Those are jazz chords. Thank you. This was my award-winning song. This was written about 12 years ago. And I wrote it with a buddy of mine who lives here in Franklin, actually. And after we wrote it, he said, can we put this in a contest? And I said, I don't care, as long as it's not one of those where I have to ask all my friends to vote for me. I hate those. Because then when you click on, if it were just as simple as just clicking on to vote, that would be one thing. But you got to click on, and then the organization wants you to sign in, and then you're going to get emails from them for the rest of your life. So I'm like, no, I don't want any contest where we have to beg our friends to vote. And he goes, no, this is just an industry. I said, okay, great. It was an international songwriting competition. And a couple months went by, I didn't give it another thought. Well, we won first place in the country division. So that was kind of cool. And first prize was a bunch of cash and a bunch of equipment and a little award plaque certificate. I'll get that. I know. Oh, good. Tell her she's late. Anyways, and so that's what we won. And the certificate came about 2 weeks later. And we kept waiting on the cash and the equipment, and it never showed up. And it never showed up. And I asked my buddy, I said, hey, why don't you call them and see what's going on? So he called, and they had filed for bankruptcy. So I say this is my award-winning song that bankrupted a contest. Yeah. And that's kind of cool. And the certificate looks magnificent. Another beachy one here. Well, my boss, my wife, let me go on the same day. Ran to the bank and cashed my severance pay. Took a cab to the airport, decided I needed a short holiday. So I bought me a ticket to St. Anywhere. I found a beach and a comfortable chair, and now my 2-week vacation's lasted almost a year. 'Cause time flies when you're having rum. Calendar's useless on the beach in the sun. I got no worries or hurries, I'm just comfortably numb. Time flies when you're having rum. I didn't mean to stay here all of this time. First bar I walked in had a help wanted sign. Now I work for tips, fish and chips, and a room with a view, that's all mine. And every Saturday night when the band starts to play, I grab my guitar and jump on stage, and we sing Marley and Buffett till night becomes day. 'Cause time flies when you're having rum. Calendar's useless on the beach in the sun. I got no worries or hurries, I'm just comfortably numb. Time flies when you're having rum. This is a steel drum solo right here. Well, my ex has a house and the car and a new guy. I got some Captain with ice and a fresh lime. The sun's sinking low in the sky, while me and the tide are so high. I guess we're both better off in this life without us. The days sure go fast without all the fuss. I got sand in my shorts and a perpetual buzz. 'Cause time flies when you're having rum. Calendar's useless on the beach in the sun. I got no worries, no hurries, I'm just comfortably numb. Time flies when you're having rum. I got no worries or hurries, I just keep myself comfortably numb. Time flies when you're having rum. Thank you. I was blessed with a summer cold last week, and I'm just on the tail end of it, and it's nice. I was had a couple of gigs last week, and I had a Bluebird show, and then a show up in Kentucky, and boy, I was coughing and hacking, and I was giving them the Christofferson version of all my songs, just kind of talking them out. But it's a songwriter venue, right? So that's okay. That's all right. Let's see here. How else do I come up with song ideas? I came up with an idea once, something that my wife and I talk about every now and then. She brings it up, reminding me that I had, back when I was single, I had zero game at all. It was, if I didn't know how to play guitar, I'd probably still be single and reading comic books. I still like comic books though, there's nothing wrong with those. Dayton, I'm just assuming you got the Star Wars shirt, there's nothing wrong with that. That's Dayton and Michael, by the way, they're good kids. But I was thinking, I've never really been able to just, like if I was in a bar back in my 20s, just being able to walk up to a girl and sweep her off her feet with being really smooth. Never happened. Never able to do it. So one morning I was saying, well, what if I could? What would I say? So this is pure fantasy, pure imagination. You don't know me, and I don't know you too. This is something that I never, ever do. But my eyes have been stuck on you, girl, like glue. Since the minute you walk in the room. Not bad, huh? But I know me. And here's where I mess up. I start getting nervous. Make dance this I have, make dance have I made the, oh shoot. I said that wrong. Tripping over my tongue, hoping I don't come on too strong. But I never forgive myself if I wait too long. See you in another's arms. Take a chance, I could be your man for the rest of this summer, as long as you let me be. Come on and dance with me. Now guys, we always traveled in packs in our 20s. The women did too, for that matter, back in the day. Now they just swipe right and swipe left, I guess. I don't know. But back then, we were all in groups, and we'd take our stab, and get shot down, and go back to our group. But in this case, I'm doing pretty good. I've asked you to dance with me. Please don't pay any mind to those jokers back there. Yeah, my friends. I know they're all taking bets, and they're wondering just how this ends. Hey, that band ain't half bad, and you look so nice in that dress. Baby, please say yes. Take a chance, I could be your man for the rest of this summer, as long as you let me be. Come on and dance with me. Come on and dance with me. Come on and dance with me. Again, my name is Scott Southworth, by the way. Kind of a mess of the last name, so the best way to remember it is to buy one of my CDs, because I have it written right there on the top. Thoughtful that way. My website is scottsouthworth.com. If you're on Facebook, you can find me at Scott Southworth Music, and Twitter and Instagram is Say Howdy Scott. So that was the plug section of the night. This is a fairly new song I wrote with my friend Bobby Marquez. We got together, we did a song, and we did a duet together, recorded it. He wasn't part of the writing process, but we had a real good time with the recording, and then shot a video for it, and so we decided to get together and try to write a song. So this is what we wrote. We were just kind of talking about what we were just talking about a little while ago, about country music and how it's just a community when you're feeling down or feeling good, or you never know. So it's very new. I may not play it quite right, but since you've never heard it, you may not know. Work your fingers to the elbow, your back's about to break. Boss man dishing out more than you can take. Turn up the merle or paycheck to working man blues. That's why God made country songs. Get you through the day, help you to sing along. When life's going right or life's going wrong, that's why God made country songs. Well, she left you broken hearted, a little beaten down. You're feeling like the only lonely loser in town. Go drown your sorrows in a whiskey lullaby. The woman left you so alone so you could cry. That's why God made country songs. Get you through the day, help you to sing along. When life's going right or life's going wrong, that's why God made country songs. Then the right one comes round, picks your heart up and shows you how to love again. And then you're searching for the church down on Cumberland Road, wherever and ever, amen. That's why God made country songs. Get you through the day, help you sing along. When life's going right or life's going wrong, that's why God made a country song. That's why God made country songs. Get you through the day, help you sing along. When life's going right or life's going wrong, that's why God made country songs. That's why God made country songs. Are you doing all right? Everybody good? You need a drink of water or anything? Cup of coffee? Stretch? Slurpee? A hot dog? What's that? Coffee would be good, huh? I don't have any. Sorry. That was rude of me to ask if I didn't have any to offer, isn't it? No, songwriting's a fun thing, and I do some co-writing. I used to do a lot when I first came to town, and I mean, nowadays, my goodness, you'll see songs with 5, 6, 7 writers on it. And I did that once. I tried to write a song with a bunch of people, and we wrote a song, and all of us got something we wanted, and it was terrible. It really was. It was, later when I listened to it, I go, wow, that's a mess. And it was just too many people pushing and pulling. So I guess there needs to be probably, in groups like that, there's probably one that's the lead and everybody else is maybe pulling back a little bit. But we were a bunch of A-type personalities, and we just all insisted on getting something in there, so I don't know. Are you a writer, ma'am? Yeah. No? You just seem like you'd be a writer. No? You want to write a song? We'll do one anyway, then you can do one. No? Okay, you're smart. I don't blame you. How about if I do a bluesy number? Do anybody likes blues in the room?
Oh, yeah.
You like blues? Okay. Wrote this a few years ago. I was in Memphis working, and I was talking to my office, one of the gals in the office at where I work, and she goes, "Where are you this week?" And I said, "I'm in Memphis, and it's raining in Memphis." And she goes, "Well, there's your new song." And I said, "Okay." And she goes, "Well, how does it go?" I said, "Well, honey, you got to give me a little more time than that. I agree with you, that's a good idea, but you got to give me a little time." So I'll tell you what, by the end of the day, I'll have a chorus for you. And she said, "Okay." So I called her at the end of the day with the chorus, and she goes, "Well, when are you going to record it?" I said, "It's not done." She just was very impatient. But I wrote it, and it goes like this. Riley left us. The sky been crying from the news. But the bee keeps a beat, the rhythm still arose, like the mighty Mississippi pushing Delta River bows. And it's raining down in Memphis since the day Riley left us alone. When you're walking down on Beale, you feel his soul in every song. You might swear you hear Lucille, and you know the thrill will still go on. Every time you stop and listen, when a blues man bends his strings, then you're carrying tradition and you're riding with the king. And it's raining down in Memphis since the day Riley left us alone. I'm going to try a song I haven't done in a long time. But I'm just feeling it right now. I don't know why. This was the title track of a song of a CD that came out a long time ago. It's I've done 3 since. And this one, talking about song ideas, it was back in the MySpace days. That's how old this song is. But somebody that was a friend of mine, also from where I grew up on the West Coast, they had just, their husband had just left them. And all she wrote on Facebook was, "I wish I was a Tin Man." And I said, oh, what a great line. So I know that Miranda had a big hit with the song by the same name. And but this was many years before this. And actually, before I wrote this one, I found out later that Kenny Chesney's first single was a song called Tin Man. So the neat thing about songwriting is you can't copyright a title. And the ideas are in the air. So, you know, I had no idea that Kenny had done a song like that. And I'm sure that Miranda's folks never ever heard this. But I hope I remember it. My wife says I do too. Oh, you didn't? I can work on my lip. Oh, thank you, darling. I wish I was a tin man. And all I'd worry about was rain. I'd have my little oil can, keep me from rusting, feel no pain. Life could be so easy if instead of this broken heart I had a tick-tock pocket watch. There's no, boy, I can't remember how it go, baby. There's no somewhere, thank you, over the rainbow. There's just you walking out my door. And there ain't no man behind the curtain to make you love me like before. I bet even that old scarecrow, he couldn't have got you off his mind. He'd have jumped an inferno for you. He'd have shown the courage of a lion. But me, I'm scared to death you've really left, and I'm just praying that you lie. When you said the day you'd come back to me would be the day monkeys fly. There's no somewhere over the rainbow. There's just you walking out my door. And there ain't no man behind the curtain to make you love me like before. There's no somewhere over the rainbow. There's just you walking out my door. And there ain't no man behind the curtain make you love me anymore. I wish I was a tin man. I wish I was a tin man. Happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow. Why, oh why can't I?
Nice.
I remembered almost all of it. Boy, that's an old song. Ooh. That's fun. So you've been writing since how long?
When I was a little girl, I'd stand on my front porch and pretend I had an audience, and I would sing, and I'd make up my songs.
Yeah.
Mainly in Memphis, by the way. Mainly, I couldn't remember the words to songs, so I made up my own.
Well, that works. That works. I used to do the same thing. I lived in Oregon, so it rained all the time, so I wasn't outside, but I'd be in my room with my hairbrush, singing my songs, singing Elvis and Johnny Cash. My first, the album that I remember when I was like 3 years old was Live in San Quentin. I remember that album cover. Johnny Cash is bathed in this blue light, and I remember looking at that for hours and listening to that album. You know, am I able to do covers here? I can. So this song was really important to me when I was a little kid, and then when my kids were little, this is what they asked me to sing them to bed every night. This was their lullaby song. That's a true story. Well, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave a lot for my mama and me, just his old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. And I don't blame him that he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, he must have thought that it was quite a joke, and it got a lot of laughs from lots of folks. See, I had to fight my whole life through. Yeah, some gal giggle and I'd get red, some guy'd laugh, I'd just bust his head. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up keen. My fists got hard and my wits got keen. I rode from town to town to hide my shame. But I made me a vow to the moon and the stars, I'd search them honky-tonks and bars and kill that man that gave me that awful name. Can you imagine kids wanting this as their lullaby every night? Well, it was Gatlinburg in late July, and I'd just hit town, my throat was dry, and I thought I'd stop and grab myself a brew. Well, in an old saloon on a street of mud, there at the table dealing studs, sat the dirty mangy dog and named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a worn-out picture that my mama had. I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and fat and gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood ran cold, and I said, "My name is Sue. How do you do? Now you're gonna die." That's what I told him. Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise, he come up with a knife and he cut off a piece of my ear. So I busted a chair right across his teeth, and we crashed through the walls and into the street, kicking and gouging in the mud with the blood and the beer. Good night, kids. Well, I tell you, I fought tougher men, but you know I can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he did like a crocodile. He was big and bad and gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood, no, he was big and bad. I heard him laugh and then I heard him cuss. He reached for his gun, but it drew mine first. He stood there looking at me and he began to smile. Woo, saved that one, didn't I? He said, "Oh, son, this world is rough, and if a man's got to make it, he's got to be tough. And I knew you, I wouldn't be around to help you along. So I gave you that name and I said goodbye. I knew you'd have to get tough or die. It's that name helps make you strong. Well, now you just fought one hell of a fight, and I know you hate me, and you got the right to kill me now. I wouldn't blame you if you knew. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in the gut and the spit in your eye. Cause I'm that son of a gun that named you Sue. What could I do? What should I do? I got all choked up, threw down my gun. I called him my pa and he called me his son. And I walked away with a different point of view. And I think about him every now and then, every time I try and every time I win, and I think to myself, if I ever have a son, I'm going to name him Janine or Marty or anything with Sue. Take that name. Maybe even Dick. Yes. Thank you very much.
Do you have girls?
I do. I have a boy and a girl. I have a boy and a girl, and that girl was the orneriest cuss you'd ever hope to see. And The first time a boy came to pick her up on a date, he came in and shook my hand and said, "You gonna show me your gun collection?" And I was holding his hand, I was shaking it really hard, and I said, "Son, I don't need a gun with a boy like you. She'll rip you to shreds. You don't have a chance." And I was right. So, but about that song, do you guys know who wrote that song? An author, a very famous author, wrote that song. He wrote a little book that I bet all of you have read to your kids from this library, maybe. A book called The Giving Tree. Shel Silverstein wrote that song for Johnny Cash. How about that? There you go. He was him and Chris Christopherson. Shel was on the road. He was a songwriter here for back in the 60s. He and Chris Christopherson and Chris Gantry were running around buddies back when the road was full of characters and less condos and more crazy folks out there making things up. So here's a song that we actually recorded the video on Music Row a few months back. Some of the people that helped me with the video are in this room right now. And the stories of the video shoot are hilarious, but they probably, I don't know if they translate well, but every time I watch the video, I just crack up. Thinking of, we're very, I'm independent. I don't have a label, I don't have a manager, I don't have people doing things. So everything I've done in Europe, all the tours I've done, I've set them up myself, and my CD sales, I manage that, and it's just all it's all an independent thing. So I've done some videos that have done really, really well online and are getting play on TV all over the world. And I mean, I met a guy the other day who does videos. That's what he does. And he says, "Look, here's my card, and if you don't have $25,000, $50,000 to make a music video, call me, because I can do it for $2,500. And I just smiled, because my videos I did for a lot less, like in the couple $100 range, and they come out looking good. And it's because I'm very, very fortunate to just have a bunch of really good friends. And I'll call up and say, "Hey guys, we're doing a video, and we're going to be here," and everybody just shows up and helps out. It's a really, really wonderful thing. So that's one thing I try to tell folks who are out there trying to do the artist thing. There's a lot of people in this town that will take a lot of money from you, a lot of money from you, and will tell you, "Oh my gosh, you're going to be the next big thing. You're going to be on the radio. You just pay me $100,000 and I'll get all this going for you." And it's pretty insidious, but there are ways to do this that won't break you. And I'm happy to share that with anybody if they ever want to reach out to me. Any ideas I can share. I've paid for tours I've never done a crowdfunding, one of those type of things. As much as, there's people out there that need songs for different things in the business world. And I paid for a tour by writing a jingle for a company once and just traded it out with them. And so there's things you can do if you give it some time to work it out. But if somebody comes to you and says, "Man, you sound great, you're amazing, pull out your checkbook and I'm going to make you a star," run, Forrest, run. But here's a video that we did on Music Row. I wrote it with my friend Heino Moeller. And we originally wrote it, I actually came to him, I said, "I got this great idea." I said, "Let's write a song that nobody will ever play on the radio." And he said, "Isn't that all of your songs?" I said, "Yeah, but this one I'm on purpose." So we wrote it, and we just laughed the whole time we wrote it. It's very tongue-in-cheek. And then as I was playing it out and about, people really liked it, so I went ahead and recorded it, and then went ahead and did this video, and I'll be darned if it hasn't gotten radio play all over the world. So It's a song about being a country music songwriter in a town that doesn't like country music anymore. Well, you can try to shut me out, but I ain't leaving town. Lock the doors when I come around, I ain't leaving town. It's pretty clear that no one here cares what I've got to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway, as long as I can plug in and play. Country music's here to stay, and I ain't leaving town. Leaving town, leaving town. I ain't leaving town. Leaving town, leaving town. I ain't leaving town. You guys hear the Johnny Cash influence? You can tell that I listened to Folsom Prison Blues when I was a kid, can't you? Well, they forgot what steel guitar is for, but I ain't leaving town. Nobody plays a waltz no more, but I ain't leaving town. You know Harlan Howard, he wouldn't recognize these streets today. But then old Harlan might not have a shot unless he turned 18 and hot and mixed drum loops with 80s rock. But I ain't leaving town. Leaving town, leaving town. No, I ain't leaving town. Leaving town, leaving town. No, I ain't leaving town. Well, my hair's gray, my tooth is long, but I ain't leaving town. 'Cause I still write a damn good song, and I ain't leaving town. Long as that circle is unbroken on the Grand Ole Opry stage. Them auto-tune broke country cats with skinny jeans and trendy tats can kiss my hot too country. I ain't leaving town. Leaving town. Leaving town. No, I ain't leaving town. Leaving town. Leaving town. No, I ain't leaving town. Buckles were here, he'd sing, bow, 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 bow. I ain't leaving town. Bow, 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 bow. I ain't leaving town. I'll keep believing songs king, and maybe one fine day that pendulum will swing again. Hold on to hope, and until then, just turn up WSM, home of the Grand Ole Opry. God bless them. How was my hat head there? Really bad? And I ain't leaving town. Leaving town. Leaving town. No, I ain't leaving town. Leaving town. Leaving town. No, I ain't leaving town. Yeah. All right. Thank you. We still having fun? Yeah? Okay, good. Well, let's see here. What are you feeling like? I've only done one sad song. You want to hear this another sad song? Or we don't want sad songs today, do we? We're all in a happy mood because we're not out there in the 100 and oh my gosh degree weather. It's warm out there. Do I have any hot summer songs today? No, I don't think so. Well, let's see here. A lot of my songs have whiskey or beer or stuff in it. And actually, as I've been going through Europe doing the touring, one of the most asked questions has been if I needed some sort of program. I'm not kidding you. They've asked, do you have a problem? And I said, no. I sing about drinking a lot more than I drink about drinking at this stage in my life, because recovery is not as easy as it was in my 20s. So I remember drinking like that, but I don't really now. Maybe a beer every now and then. A little whiskey as the sun goes down. Ooh, that's almost lyrical, isn't it? I may have to work on that. I'm going to do another bluesy song. I don't know where this one came from. I don't even know how I wrote it. Ooh, 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 I ain't your preacher, and I ain't your daddy. Ain't your long lost rich uncle from up in Cincinnati, knight in shining armor, and I know I ain't your ATM. Ooh. When you're looking for loving, I ain't nothing but your man. I don't go shopping, and I don't do drama. If you want some of that, baby, call your girlfriends or your mama and come on up and see me anytime you're needing a slow, slow pain. When you're looking for loving, I ain't nothing but your man. Well, you can come on up and see me anytime you need to get down with you. Come into my arms and let me show you all that I can do for you. Oh, ooh, ooh, well, you can come on up and see me. I'm always up for getting down with you. Hey, come into my arms and let me show you all I can do for you. Hey, 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 I ain't no Mr. Vixen, and I ain't your maid. So take that honey-do list, tear it up, throw it away. I got a singular agenda, gonna make you feel as good as I can. Baby, I can. When you're looking for loving, I ain't nothing but your man. When you're looking for loving, I ain't nothing but your man. But your man. Thank you. Yes, thank you for using both fingers when you did that. I'm going to do a song. I'm going to dedicate this one to Michael and Dick and a couple of young men who are working hard on a Saturday. My friend and I, Mark Allen Barnett, wrote this song. We both have sons. We knew each other for a couple of years before we realized that we both had sons named Logan. And they were both left-handed. They're both about the same age. And neither of them listened to a darn thing we ever told. So we wrote this song. We wanted to write a song to them. And halfway through it, we realized we were writing a song for our dads, too. So it was very interesting. And we actually recorded 2 versions of it because there were certain things that Mark Allen's dad always told him that he really wanted in the song and vice versa. And instead of fighting over it, we said, let's just have 2 versions of this. And the version that he recorded, I gave to my son, and the version that I recorded, he gave to his son, with the idea that, okay, so they don't listen to us, maybe they'll listen to some other voice. So anyway, here you go. If you're reading this right now, I guess you found my little note wrapped up around a couple bills. Don't let your mama know. You're off to find your place in this world, me. I never crossed the county line. Your higher education began when you left home. We gave you this foundation, now you're standing on your own. I know you've got it all figured out, but here's some words to the wise. Credit cards ain't money. Don't throw your cash around. Never build yourself up by tearing others down. Try to listen more than talk. Make sure you walk the walk and follow through on everything you say. You can take it from me now, or don't, and you'll find out the hard way. Hard way. Well, you're gonna have some rough roads up ahead. That's just part of life. Stay true to you and pace yourself. Everything will be just fine. It's okay to change direction, and a real man will admit it when he's wrong. I know you got your roads to sow, but don't throw them all away. There's someone special out there, I guarantee she's worth the wait. Just keep your heart wide open and remember, when the right one comes along, don't say you love her till you do, then never let her go. You can't put toothpaste back in a tube, leave hurting words alone. Just try to be the man she needs, and always ask for seconds, please. Tell her that she's beautiful each day. You can take it from me now, or don't, and you'll find out the hard way. Well, that's the letter that your grandpa gave to me when I left town. I've kept it all these years, time I give it to you now. I hope you know that I'm proud of you, and when it comes to your old dad, son, you don't have to try to earn the things you've always had. Don't be afraid to hit your knees, it won't hurt nothing to believe. Follow passion, and you'll never work a day. You can take it from me now, but don't, and you'll find out the hard way. The hard way. The hard way. Thank you. I got one more song. I'd like to thank you guys for being here and for sticking around the whole time. That's awful nice of you. This is another very new song. I have not recorded it yet. But as a songwriter, we go out to writers' nights, and I mean, I have for years, and I've heard a bazillion songs, and there's always, I don't think there's ever a night that goes by where I don't hear the words, "Your love's made me a better man" in a song, or "You've made me a better man. I'm a better man because of your love." And that's a beautiful sentiment. But as a songwriter, your mind kind of warps around ideas, right? And I was thinking, well, what if you have this great woman and you have this love, but you're still a jerk? And there's a lot of them out there. I'm not pointing fingers, but you might be sitting right across from one right now. So this might be the most autobiographical thing I've ever written. I drink more than I ought to, more often than not. I don't save money, so I ain't got a lot. I'm quick to tick off and slow to let go of a grudge. But I've got a good woman's love. I love eating junk food and I hate to work out. Argue about crud I don't know nothing about. I bet you that I let you down when push comes to shove. I've got a good woman's love. Well, I'm living proof, karma's the truth. Look at this good love I had. I must have done something good in a past life, or she must have been real bad. She must have been real bad. We all have heard about the leopard never changing his spots. I've tried doing better, but I can't be what I'm not. So I just keep disappointing. She'll go right on lifting me up. I've got a good woman's love. I've got a good woman's love.
Yeah.
My name's Scott Southworth. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Thank you very much.
Scott, do you need a program?
You know what?
You need a program.
Yes, I might.
My dear friend, Scott Southworth, put your hands together for me one time. I want to thank Williamson County Public Television. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, David, for coming in this afternoon. I want to thank Williamson County Public Library. And I'm Don Swartz, Southern Trade Songwriters, and my dear friend, the hillbilly singer, Mr. Scott Southworth. Thank you all. See you next time.